call the meeting to order. Present and accounted for are Renee O'Donnell, Brian Carlisle, Lucille Cindy DeBeck, and Cindy Grant. We are all here. Is there any public comment other than fire and rescue? Because you have your own line.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just going to start reading the warrants then, you guys. Is that all right? Warrants. AP warrant number 25 for $3,805.50. PY warrant number 26 for $10,569.62. AP warrant number 27 for $147,737.24. PY warrant number 28 for $833.34. AP warrant number 29 for $15,240.59. PY warrant number 30 for $8,097.47. AP warrant number 31 for $15,944.50. AP warrant number 32 for $147,469.99. PY warrant number 33 for $11,259.24. AP warrant number 34 for $21,666.38. I make a motion that we accept the warrants as read.
Second.
Second, all in favor? 3-0. Abatements, supplements. You know, I can do an agenda adjustment right now if you want to. You're all set? Okay. So, abatement supplement, Babcock, Torrey, Posey, and Ricker. And
So these are all personal property that were on the books that we're trying to clean up. They'll never get paid.
Okay.
Reginald Ricker has passed away. William Posey has passed away. Alan Babcock doesn't live in town anymore. And Roscoe Torrey doesn't live in town, or doesn't have the equipment.
Okay.
Okay, so they didn't pay those, so we're not
Right.
refunding, we're just
Right,
clearing
we
them
just
off.
abate
Right.
them. Yep,
Do you need a motion for
I
that?
do, with a signature.
Okay, so I'll make a motion that we accept the abatements for Babcock, Torrey, Posey, and Ricker as approved, or we approve them as they're written.
Second.
Second, all in favor, 3-0. Okay.
Today is the
12. Said that. Yes, today is the 12th.
There's one.
There we go.
Because I have to sign each one. You guys want to complain about signing them?
Okay. Ready? Next thing is the minutes. Did everybody get a chance to read the minutes? Do you have any changes, comments, notations on the minutes? Okay. So I will just say, I make a motion that we accept the minutes as written from October 11th of 2022, October 24th of 2022, November 7th of 2022.
You have, okay, the 10/11/2022 It says new fire station, all done, all done. That was the agreement only, right?
Where was this?
New fire station, all done, old business, yes, I think what that was referring to, that it was negotiated and it started.
Yeah, and number 3, the animal control says quiet.
That was
What date are we on?
The 10, 11,
10, 11, 22.
22.
That was because there was no information?
Yeah,
She quit.
no, that was before that. I
They,
think.
yeah, that was a different one.
I believe it was anyway.
Okay, so it was quiet.
Yeah, even all quiet is, I mean, how's animal control all quiet?
I said quiet.
She resigned on 11/7, that's when we got the information, so that was just a response, I think. Would you like anything changed?
No, as long as
Okay.
we understand what quiet is, and
Okay.
not, then she quit.
Okay. No, I think it was all quiet,
Oh, it's all
basically.
quiet. Oh, it just says quiet.
Okay, so I'll do it again. So I'll make a motion that we accept the minutes from October 11th, 22, October 24th, 2022, November 7th, 2022, and November 22nd of 2022.
Second.
Second, all in favor?
November 22, Perry Peterson is Perri, it's not Y. So,
Okay,
so that, you know, she might object, but that's the only thing I caught there.
we can, Katie, you're gonna take these notes. Why don't we make a note to correct her name to Perri, Perri Peterson. And that is on the minutes from November 22nd of 2022. So I'll make a motion that we accept those minutes with those, with that minor change. The correction of Perri Peterson's name.
Second.
Okay, all in favor, 3-0. Okay. Agenda adjustments. Brian, you are up. Medical
Well,
crisis.
I can skip around if these guys want to do that. I just want to plant the seed, that's all.
Okay, all right. So let's go to fire and rescue, and we are gonna do rescue first. Neil,
I'm here,
yes,
not very often here because it was the same old bad news over and over and over again. But today it's good news. We've got 2 new EMTs.
yes.
The fire chief and Scott both are officially done their class, passed everything, submitted for and submitting for tomorrow their main EMS licenses.
Okay.
And we will be starting regular trainings, and these 2 are too dumb not to go to a call, so they're gonna probably cover everything. And,
Congratulations, Scott.
Yes, congratulations.
we should start seeing a pretty significant uptick in response, which
Good.
is essentially saved rescue in my opinion.
Yeah,
So
That's
just wanted to
very
make sure that we pointed that out, congratulate these 2, and
very
we
good.
will be progressing in the near future.
Yes, congratulations, you guys.
Thank you. So on that note, I'd like to just take a second and, Scotty, this was a long road, brother. We did good.
Oh.
We did very, very good with this.
For a
So-
couple old fellas, I guess so.
So, on behalf of the guys with the fire department,
No way.
we just want to give you that.
Huh? Nice.
You're part of the team
Nice.
on the EMT side, so.
Nice. That's cool. I mean, that warms me.
Yeah, now get to work.
Yeah, I was thinking bad. That's your ID? That's very cool. Oh,
So,
I'm
yeah.
touched.
That's very
Is
nice.
there a tissue around? Dust in the air.
Yeah, so we should be
Good,
a lot better off than we were.
nice.
That's the goal. That's been the goal for many years.
Yes, I understand that,
I know, but we're gonna do our best, and that's,
yeah. Okay.
It just took the 2 old fellas to decide to do it, I
but hey, you know what, man?
I
It's,
think the next youngest person in their class is probably 20.
Yes.
So,
I'm hoping when we have a bright, shiny new building out there, we'll have some more interest for you guys. People will want to come and participate and,
hope
we
so.
already
We
got
need some
that.
young
well,
folks.
speaking of more interest, you should go to fire.
Oh!
are you done?
Yep,
Are you all
I'm
set?
done.
Okay,
Yep.
that's it, well, good, I'm glad you were here.
Well, this is part of what I wanted to bring up, and maybe I'll just waltz into it. A very severe concern I have is watching over the past few years what our medical system is going through. It really kind of peaked when I was listening to the scanner with you guys. They had an accident not too far from me, and it took them 40 minutes to get an ambulance. And what's happening, or what I hear anyway from a layman's point, is that the whole area is having a very, very difficult time getting ambulances. They're having a difficult time getting people. I mean, you guys see it all the time, and what I learned is just from the scanner and what I read. I have experience with family members that have a very difficult time going in to see doctors. You know, try to get medical help on a weekend. You get callbacks from someplace out of state with nurses who cannot prescribe medicine. The hospitals send you to urgent care, and a lot of times they're full and they can't take in patients. I see on notification apps that the hospitals in this area, a lot of times they're full. And my point being that I can see some sort of healthcare crisis really looming, and if we don't get ahead of it, it's going to catch us right smack in the face. And it's not just us. I mean, I hear it all over the place,
Right.
all over the state, and I'm sure it's beyond the state. And I have no answer. I have no idea where we should begin, other than maybe speaking as a voice, as a town, a very small town. But if we talk to our state legislatures as a town, and even our school systems, and come on, you guys, you're spending money like crazy, that we're going to have to start putting money away for what these guys have achieved.
Yeah.
I mean, I was all prepared for this before I knew that, you know, what these guys had accomplished. So that takes a big sting out of what we have. But, geez, Newburgh is getting, as well as other communities, we're getting older. You know, you reach a certain age that I've hit, and you kind of care about what
Yeah, how
calls
far,
and
where the
are they gonna
ambulance
come
comes
get me?
from,
And
yeah, exactly.
if I need help, and
The nursing homes are not getting paid
I know,
again.
I know, it's
They're
horrible.
taking that money and using it elsewhere.
It's just, I just see a horrible situation coming.
Yeah.
So a little bit more on that is there has been some legislature coming forward that is addressing Medicare, Medicaid, because that's where a lot of bills get paid for ambulance services. Certainly encouraging legislation to support that would be a good thing. But the entire area is obviously pretty seriously struggling.
Right.
About 2 months ago, there was a medical call in Corinth, and the ambulance that went was from Northern Light that was staging in Dedham because all of the ambulances in Ellsworth were out, as well as Brewer. So the ambulance that responded to Corinth came from Dedham.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, isn't there an ambulance full-time in Carmel?
Yes,
There is.
they were on a call at the time.
They were on a call at the time. So when
Every
you say
ambulance between there and Corinth and to the other side of Corinth, and north and south, were on calls.
Right.
So, just to give you a little bit more clarity on that, the way, not that call, but the way that it's working unfortunately right now. The Super 7 that I have talked about with the chiefs that are working together, trying to work our towns into a better mutual aid and
Right.
better relation, so to speak. Mike Azevedo, who is the assistant chief for Carmel, also is one of the higher ups for PRCC. The unfortunate factor has become that almost every call that they have, they're having to send 2 ambulances to the same call, because a lot of the ambulances now are only being staffed, and I don't mean this in any way, because this is where Scott and I come in, but as EMT basics.
Right.
Okay, so when you get there with an ambulance, it's an EMT basic, and you start your basic BLS, if the injury or the patient is beyond our level,
Right.
they've
You
got
have
to
to
start
call
a
another.
second ambulance in. The problem that they're having is Northern Light, after this crisis of COVID and all of the people getting done and getting forced out and a lot of their ambulances right now are only being manned basic. So, you
So they don't have
are,
an ambulance with the advanced
they don't
techs
have
on
an
it.
advanced or a paramedic on it. And it's becoming, I mean, this is becoming more and more frequent, and it's definitely becoming scary.
Yeah.
I mean, if you could imagine what PRCC goes through in a day when it takes them 6 or 8 towns worth of tones to find one ambulance that can run backup or primary.
Right.
It's crazy, to say the absolute least. And then you get, for like us here, we rely on Carmel as our primary. But the unfortunate thing is the time frame for them is only till 6 p.m. After 6 p.m., Carmel Fire doesn't have an ambulance that's actually manned and that's actually guaranteed in any way, shape, or form.
Right.
So now we're waiting on Northern Light to get here,
Right.
and if they only have a basic on for whatever reason for a night, now they've got to find someone to come out and actually run 2 ambulances, even in our town.
Right.
You know, the great thing is with Scott 9 now, it does increase our level of care from the EMR level to an EMT level. So that's a big jump.
Right.
So it does at least give us a better chance of doing more, you know, basic life supports on
Right.
things that before might not have been able to be taken care of. But we still have to sit and wait and hope that they get the tones out and can find the next town. So it is scary, Brian. It's beyond scary.
But my point too is that you've got legislators that really don't seem to want to
Nope.
solve the problem. They want to just escalate the requirements for what you guys do.
Oh, it's-
Cindy told me some time ago, we had, what, a PA and an RN who wanted to join, but they'd have to take
They-
this course. Now, why aren't
On
they
scene,
medically
Scott and I would
qualified?
outrank them.
Right. Why aren't they medically
Yeah,
qualified?
it's crazy, absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
And just
I
boil
mean, a
it down
PA
to.
and an RN,
Yeah,
And we outrank them on scene as an EMT basic.
which
We-
is,
it's
which
just-
is,
it's
no,
crazy.
no offense to you guys, but
Absolutely
that's,
not.
that's
It's ludicrous.
ridiculous, yeah.
And if it was on scene, I'd be going, so what should I do?
No, or help. I
They
mean, we got,
contacted Maine EMS a few years ago when we ran into this because we did have a couple of RNs in town, and we had approached them. But they couldn't take, 4 or 6 weeks out of their life
Yeah.
to go attend a class
Yeah.
because they had a job and they had a family and they'd be more than willing to help,
Right.
but they couldn't
Yeah.
take the time, so I contacted Maine EMS.
It's really upside down,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah, to see if there was some way that they could, you know, shorten, and they were looking at it. Based on the news, they were looking at it,
Yeah.
like this short, what
They
do
do
you
have
call
an
it,
accelerated
webinar.
program that they every now and then will run in July, but they only run it if they get enough people, and it's a 2-week program that
They're doing it up
stuffing
north.
that they're stuffing what these guys did in 4 months into 2 weeks. It's an
Yeah.
insane class.
Which
They're
is
doing it up north
It's insane.
with RNs and them
It's 2
because
6-day
they can't
weeks.
get enough
Imagine.
people to do the EMT class, so they're doing some sort of shortened, scenario, and I think it's more the emergency medicine part of it. They know all the terminology, they know all the stuff
Yeah.
that you guys
It's more
learned,
the operational
but they had,
things.
go into a car accident scene they're not used to.
Yeah.
You know, they've got doctors telling us.
Right.
I'll take my
So-
chances.
So, and not to be super long-winded about it, but Northern Light's not able to even remotely come close to honoring any contract they have with anybody that they've written. At best, Northern Light, to my knowledge, has 2 paramedic level trucks on any given day. One of them is Brewer 309, which if Brewer 309 ends up in Newburgh, things are going real bad. That's just like an ambulance sitting in Dedham going to Corinth. It's one of those kind of days if we get Brewer 309. And then they have a paramedic level truck that they usually have out of the Union Street station, which is the one that covers us. and that truck could very well be on a transfer.
Yeah,
And then we were getting an advanced EMT level or EMT basic level provider.
responding.
If
And
we
then they're
did
having to
anything at
call,
all.
and then they're having to call another paramedic level truck. I know Bangor ambulance has been out here a handful of times, but that will only continue for so long, knowing how the chiefs over there are.
A lot of times they come back and say, we don't have any units available.
Yeah.
They,
And
they go where
They
the money
lay
is.
it back on
in
to us to decide
transports.
what
They
goes next.
transport patients.
Right.
Bangor probably has the best availability right now, and
Yep.
I have been standing next to a chief and he is denied
Yep.
sending an ambulance out of town.
Yeah,
They typically won't if it's like a Delta or Echo level call, which is how they code them. Delta and Echo are like your real bad chest pains, traumas, things like that. Kind of like when the hospital goes on status black and tells you not to go there, which happens a lot.
And they still send it.
It's already a pretty significant crisis, and the whole state's behind the eight ball on it.
yeah,
It's ultimately going to come down to the money, because people go into the nursing field, especially this past year, because they could make $115 an hour
right.
on a travel contract. I had a friend who was working as a nurse at Eastern Maine. He got done and went to Waldo. He lives in Winterport and went to Waldo General as a travel nurse, making $115 an hour as a shorter ride to work.
Cool.
So, no.
Unbelievable.
So we're looking at, not too long from now, every small community is going to have to put up a bunch of money to staffing.
It's scary because, I mean, even Hamden has all but shut down out of town runs. And I never thought I'd ever see that happen within Hamden, you know, within a direct community factor. But they will respond out here for the same as I've set up Delta Echo. And right now, anything else, you're not gonna get Hamden ambulance.
So the only thing I can think of is if towns started bugging their legislators,
Yeah.
started calling their legislators and
Regularly.
writing letters and saying, we are in trouble here. You know,
Yeah.
towns and,
Penobscot, I think it's the Penobscot Chiefs Association, both fire and EMS side, they've had several meetings that have involved with the state and just crying for help. And unfortunately, it has completely fallen on deaf ears. Penobscot Chiefs have just about given up on expecting anything for help out of the state any further than where it's at.
right,
And they're all looking at each other now going, what are we going to do? Not what is the state gonna do, what are we going to do? And it's only so much that
right.
all these little towns can do.
There's a lot of talk right now about regionalizing EMS services, and,
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me yet.
and that certainly is an option, but it will all come down to who's measuring what and with who and where the
But
ambulance
if you're
is
still
going to be.
regulated like you are now, I mean, that achieves almost nothing.
They're only making the EMS classes harder too. Eastern Maine Community College is in very serious conversations about making the paramedic program not a certificate program, but a
Diploma program.
diploma
Yep.
program, which adds another semester to it. So not that I think we're going to see anybody here go to the paramedic level anytime soon, because we're not even licensed to that or permitted to it, but that's just going to trickle down.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So
That's crazy. Well, thanks for the update. And again, congratulations, you guys.
thank you.
Appreciate it very much.
Fire's a much better report.
Okay, fire. Your report, we have your report. You have the floor, sir.
So, fire is doing pretty well. After listening to this, all your calls were pretty well answered. There was, I think, 6 calls that got answered on the rescue side for the last month. And we've had some good trainings again this past month. And continuing on with that, Neil has got a very good training program going for us, and that's making a big difference. The big thing for us, other than the fact that Scott and I got our EMT licenses, is that we've got 3 new people who have joined Newburgh Fire.
Okay.
2 and a half.
I have
2
2
definites, now let me finish. 2 definites and 1 that I am waiting for a call back on, but she came here looking to join, so it's a good,
I recognize one of these names, Frank Coombs.
yep,
That's a good addition.
yep,
There's a lot
Who?
of, background.
very.
Frank's piece of work.
Frank wants to help out in more or less in the traffic control and the
Air balls.
air bottle type stuff. He's not, obviously not gonna go back into fighting fires or anything of that effect, but his knowledge is worth
Was he in Hamden?
Yes.
he
For a
retired,
long
he
time.
retired from Hamden.
Yes,
30
yeah.
some odd.
30,
Yeah.
32 or 33 years.
32 or 33, and then Belfast for 10 years prior to
Yep.
that. So, I mean, he
The man has
There's a lot of experience.
English,
Yeah,
yeah,
because
yes,
the boys are
knowledge.
earlier that were
and
in the case
and he's
of,
very level
you build
headed.
it and they will come.
Yeah.
So that's
Hope so.
been a huge plus, a blessing, to say the least.
Yeah.
The guys are obviously very excited about the new station being moved forward and underway, so that's a great thing.
Yeah.
No,
And
Absolutely.
really, everything's rolling pretty smooth. I mean,
Good.
it's going good right now. And you, like I said in there, and I'll say it every month, but I'll tell you guys, we appreciate your support. I
Well,
hope you know that
it's, the reason everything is rolling forward and moving forward is there's a communication line. There's you don't get anything done by digging in your heels and saying, I'm not gonna do it that way you want me to do it.
That's
You
right.
gotta just keep going, because, I mean, we have guidelines to follow, you have guidelines to follow, we have a town to answer to, so
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
very excited about this new building. I'll be even more excited when the grant comes in.
Yes.
But we'll see.
That's
They're
that-
battling it out, have you heard the news?
I haven't,
They're battling it out.
I know,
Yeah,
I know.
they gotta have it by next week, is it?
They gotta make a decision?
Yeah.
Well,
For the
I mean,
whole
yeah,
budget,
but
right?
To keep the
Budget,
Yeah, for the whole
right,
budget.
budgeting that
Right.
stuff, yeah.
Yeah, I heard
keep
that.
the country running, they've gotta have, if not, they'll have to do a supplemental.
Yeah,
So
I'm gonna
let's,
hold our breath. and
I was
keep
gonna
our
say, I
fingers
wouldn't hold them to cross them,
Yeah,
you know, I
exactly.
mean, we gotta keep it hopefully going our way,
Yeah.
for sure.
Okay, is that it?
That's it for fire and rescue.
All right, thank you, guys. Library.
things are going good in the library. I went today and ordered the plaque.
Okay.
Thank you.
It's gonna
Thanks, guys.
say, the Gary W. Wilson Community Library.
Yeah.
And it's an 11 by 17. It's gonna sit right beside the door. We thought about something up over the door, but they didn't make anything that was nice,
Yeah.
that big. So
Okay.
that's, the girls have been working really good. We have 3 volunteers in there. And things are picking up in there as far as volunteers and
Nice.
stuff. They rearranging stuff and getting all the new shelves in place and
Yeah.
all that good stuff.
Good.
So
Animal control?
I haven't heard from her. She
All's
did
quiet?
come in, get sworn in.
Oh, she did?
Yeah, and she took our 3 of our 4 live traps. I'm using one here in the building,
You are?
In this building?
in this building.
For a,
God knows.
does it have a long tail?
We have a varmint.
Okay,
It's not a mouse, it's not a rat, it's a
okay,
critter.
okay.
And I don't think it's that big, but it was big enough, got stuck to one of the big rat sticky traps that I
Yeah,
bought,
yeah.
and got himself loose.
Woodchuck?
But he's coming in periodically, so we.
Squirrels, those gray squirrels are
It's
usually.
gonna be a squirrel or a chipmunk or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah,
So, we're trying. I
Okay.
bought sticky traps, I have the live trap set, we're trying.
okay.
Never is.
All right, well, you're doing a good job with animal control this time. All right, town manager, you are up.
Okay, so I had put in here the banquet for November. I don't know if you noticed it wasn't in there. I've been trying to get it finished. October's is there,
Yeah,
but November's is not.
Okay.
I will give it to you.
okay.
Got your other reports, I would like to take the 22nd of December and the week between Christmas and New Year's off for vacation,
Okay.
because I really don't care what the weather is like. Right, Brian?
That's,
Ever occurred to you, maybe we do?
that's fine with me, I don't
So
have any
I
problem with
waited,
that.
the girls didn't say anything about taking any time off.
Okay,
So yes, it'll be the Thursday before Christmas.
yeah, I'm looking
And
at
then the
it.
3 days in between because one is a holiday.
Right,
that
Monday's a
Monday.
holiday,
Yeah.
so you're taking off Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and the
Yes.
following, okay.
One other thing that isn't on here, and I sent it to you in your packet, and I just want your okay to speak to the school on this MOU.
Okay.
I made all the changes.
I read it, did you have anything,
Yeah,
Brian?
no.
I don't have anything, did you have anything else?
No.
I read it, and, I think that's.
So the only thing, Nick, the superintendent, called me today. The only thing he came back with was the part where, anything screwed, nailed, that sort of thing. And he mentioned the projector they put in the back room, which, when I talked to them, and I emailed him back, but I will to make them better understand. My thought is, if they're gonna put a hole and a screw in that concrete wall, that's not a big deal. But this wall here in one of the classrooms has got probably 15 to 20
Screw holes?
shelf brackets where they've made shelves.
Oh,
Well, when that goes, that's gonna look like crap.
yeah.
And my whole thing
And it
was,
costs money to repair
Right.
that.
Yeah, so the
they gotta
shelves
leave
stay.
it.
Yeah.
They've gotta leave it.
Right.
That
Well, maybe
was-
some of those things could be
And
negotiated.
that's, right, and that's what I did. So,
Okay.
but he called me today and asked if I thought that he needed to be here tonight. I told him I didn't think so. This was just you giving me the okay to meet with them
Right,
and do this.
right.
One thing I do want to discuss with you that isn't part of this was part of the email I originally got about changes out to the playground.
Okay.
So what was brought to me was, so there's 3 sets of swings.
Okay.
There's one that they've replaced the seats on, then there's 2 that are empty, which aren't in very good shape. So my thought is they have a big piece of equipment they want to put in the spring, which is going to entail concrete pillars to secure it. My thought is yes, you can take those out, you're gonna pay to dispose of them, and that piece of equipment just be there,
You're
where the
saying,
2 swings are, so
Right.
there's not a big
so the
blank
new,
void.
right, the new equipment goes where we take out the old swings?
Yes, yes.
So, are they?
I haven't talked to them
Okay,
yet.
all right.
The other thing that was discussed is, the fenced-in area. I'm not a big fan of that fenced-in area. It separates the playground. I think it should be all one big playground. And she wanted to extend the fence long ways, not towards here, but that way
Lengthways, toward
towards
the- yeah.
the driveway. So my thought is take the fence, the front of the fence and the side of the fence, and put along the tree line to keep the kids from going in the woods. And that's it. Just make it all one
Well,
big, yeah.
What's the reason behind
I
the
don't
fenced-in
know.
area?
I think that was Penquist.
Right, okay.
That was Penquist. They put the fence
I
up,
can
they put all
understand-
their equipment inside
I can
of it.
understand little ones being in maybe a secured area, I
Right.
should say
But they-
fenced in,
The
but,
pre-K is allowed to use all the stuff in the enclosed area, plus they've got they got the swings, they got that big thing there
Yeah.
that they play on, and then they'll have that other new piece, gym equipment.
right.
So it kind of would make the whole thing look uniform as to one playground.
Okay, all right.
I think the
I'll let
fence
you-
only went up.
I mean, I feel like you guys could negotiate that. I don't
All
really have an opinion. I mean, I think that's, I think it's all good, to
Okay.
be honest with you.
Brian?
Yeah, no, that's fine, I just, I would think if I was the school, I'd want a fenced area, but
Yeah, but they've
I don't
only
think-
fenced off half of it.
I know.
They use the whole thing.
Right.
There's only a small portion that's fenced in.
Well, that's it, maybe there's some reasoning that we don't,
And I will find out,
yeah, I mean,
so.
I'm sure fence the whole thing, but, yeah.
She just wanted to extend what's there, because the swings aren't in the fenced area.
right,
The new piece of she wanted to extend it, I think, to put that new piece way down
yeah,
there, which you take out the swings, it's gonna kinda make it look
yeah.
odd.
Is there still a tire maze out there?
No,
Okay.
no. There was a piece of equipment out there that I don't know where it went, and there's, like I said, when you first went in to the fenced-in area right as you went in the gate on the left, there was, I don't know if it was one of those merry-go-rounds, because there's like a paved path, like you'd grab the handle and run and
There
jump
was, there was
onto
an
it.
old merry-go-round out there that the kids
Oh, that's right.
pushed,
That's
put,
right.
yeah,
Yeah,
pushed and ran around and would get it
So,
going and jump on.
yeah. so,
Merry-go-rounds
I
can be
don't-
dangerous though. So
yeah,
I don't know.
so,
That's up to them.
but, no. So
I-
you're
I-
all set with this? And
I feel
think-
like that's part of your
Yeah.
negotiations with them, so,
All right.
all right. Cemetery, nothing. Roads. They're grinding on the North Road, they're grinding the sides of
Yes.
the North Road, it looks wonderful. It's making a little bit of a mess.
It clears right up.
I actually took my wheeler and went down the road and made sure just on the flat this way and down the hill that way and just, he didn't even have to do much on the hill and just picked up a few pieces, but it'll clear right off. There's nothing,
The other roads, you get chunks like this.
yeah.
If you go slow, they clear off in a
In
day.
some sections I noticed there weren't anything in the road. That particular section along that flat, that old bog had dead trees, so I'm
Yeah.
sure when he started doing it, it just splintered and, flew, so.
Yeah,
It, but I didn't really see anything crazy there, so. I did
Maybe I'll
look at
slow
that.
them down a little. Speed bumps.
I did have one other thing.
Okay.
We had a lady up on 69 call us last week wanting us to do a letter to the state requesting a speed limit change on the hill
Okay.
after that bad accident. And we investigated it, and I wanted to find out everything before, because she wanted it to come from the town, so I thought I'd have to bring it to you, but what we found out was, in order to change a speed limit on a state road, you have to submit a request, number one, and then a feasibility study is done, and then the speed limit may change, but it may not change in your favor. Because once they do the feasibility study, if the traffic, the accident rate, all of that taken into consideration,
Right.
warrants that speed can be a little faster, they can increase.
Are you talking about the accident where the person got hit,
Yeah.
a pedestrian?
Yeah.
Oh, she was getting her mail.
No, she was actually walking across the street to the neighbor's house,
Oh,
but,
And that's 45 up there, right?
no, it's 35.
35,
35.
yeah. But that was pure inattention on that driver's part.
Well, I don't know the
I
circumstances.
would be surprised if 35 is pretty slow, I'd be surprised if
Right,
they're
but
gonna
she
take it
called
down.
and she wanted us to put in a letter to the state and ask them to lower the speed limit, and that's what we found out.
Did you
So we
call her
gave
back?
We
and-
gave her the option, because the other thing she wanted us to ask them is to put a crosswalk in between her house and the other one.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
I could use one out in front of my house, a neighbor across the
I
street.
don't think that's gonna happen.
But, I called her back.
Yeah.
We emailed her back and told her what we
Yeah.
found out. We
Okay.
can put it in, but it may not go in your favor.
Right.
It may not
And
change at
a
all.
feasibility study may not happen until 2025.
Well, they were a year out doing the studies.
That's what I mean, yeah.
So, not that, I understand when something like that
Oh,
happens,
yes,
that
and-
somebody's always looking to blame somebody.
Yeah,
You know.
wants that, people wanna hold somebody or something specific
But they,
accountable. And
that's,
a lot of times it's just a pure accident.
right,
feel
that's
they
why they
have
call
to
it an
do
accident,
something.
not
Yeah. So, okay.
premeditated.
Yeah, sadly, nobody follows the speed limit anyway.
That's what I said, you can put all the speed limit signs up you want,
Yeah,
but they're not gonna slow down.
right. Building maintenance.
Okay, so I wanted to bring to your attention in your reports, our building maintenance for this building we are over.
Okay.
And I just had to call ABM because we've got a leak in the air unit in the gym. I just had to replace the,
Which page are you on, you're looking at the budget
if you
here?
look on page, the municipal building, on the first page, no.
Building
not that
maintenance
page.
is on the first page.
Right, nope, it's the other one. Where is it? Buildings. Cause we do an account, where'd it go?
How much, off the top of your head, how much are we over?
We're only over a few $100s right now.
There's on the first page on the municipal building, there's maintenance and repairs.
No, it's the down under buildings where it says, maintenance and repairs.
Yeah,
But that's broken down, between 3 buildings. Remember, we do fire station, this building, and miscellaneous.
right.
So our building out of this amount is over. We're not over,
Oh,
over,
okay,
over.
alright.
But
Our portion of
right.
this, yeah.
I just had to replace the whistle in the oil barrel, because it stopped working, they wouldn't deliver oil. I had to replace the pump in the oil room
Right,
because it has a little sump pump type deal, and I've still gotta buy a different hose, cause the one I got is no good. But that was just the pump, I went down and put it in, so
Right.
there'll be no cost of that, but there will be a cost, and we just did the locks, we changed the locks, so. It's just a bunch of little,
little
things.
stuff, okay.
you know, that.
What about this leak you've got?
I don't know what it is, ABM come out yesterday, Monday. Okay, yeah, Monday. And yesterday, and
Today.
got up there and looked.
Yesterday was Sunday.
When did they come out? Last Thursday, had to have been last Thursday.
Okay.
So they came out, and got up there and looked, and came back and said, we can't find any sign. Kept being a puddle. And it smells like WD-40 if you pick it up. And they couldn't find any sign of it, so they took paper towels and taped them up around that little motor.
To
Well,
see
we
which-
come in this morning and it was wet.
Yeah.
So I called them back, they'll be back out to see what's leaking out of it,
Alright.
so.
Just note to self, we ought to either think about another grant for a roof here, or get in line with something like that. When did, we talked about this before, and I have terrible recall, but when did they put this roof on?
Oh,
It was quite a while ago.
yeah, it's quite a while, ago.
Like 15 years?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
But I remember that Angus King does the same thing with his budget.
Yeah.
Gives people money toward
yeah,
projects, so.
so. But I just wanted to bring that to light because,
We
you
got
know,
6 more months.
we do, we do. And we had no way of budgeting for this because we didn't know what was gonna happen
Right,
or what the expenses were.
right.
The other municipal building up on that same page further up is where we pay the half of the school expenses.
Okay,
That's where Juanita gets paid and all that stuff.
okay.
So I just wanted to bring that to your attention. So we gave that lady the option on the speed. And
Okay.
she wasn't happy, but,
Well, it's a state road, it's a little bit out of our hands
Yeah.
as well,
yeah.
so. Building security,
Brian, any update?
Oh, just, I need to know the size of the building, because I found that the machine that I was looking at, we've got a maximum span of 300 feet before we have to put amplifiers in line.
Okay. I will make this, and go out tomorrow and measure it.
Maybe it would behoove us too to kind of look together a placement too, because maybe we can point in different directions from the same point and save
Yeah.
some line running.
and if the amplifier
just-
isn't too much, maybe throw in an amplifier for the, sometimes I don't feel like our strength is, my internet strength signal is very good out here, you know what I mean?
In the building, you mean?
Well, in this building, in the area,
I
Well,
know
of course,
some-
that's all a self-contained unit, so the only reason you'd need internet is if you ever wanted to watch it on your phone or something
Oh, this is
that.
like a CCTV kind of
Yeah,
thing?
yeah, kind of
Okay.
like that, and, it has a hard drive where it would be continuously recording.
Yeah, okay, that's good, that's all good.
You can get, Cindy and I were talking about, I gotta get mine back too, you think, but,
It's in by minutes.
I mean, you could go some of this wireless stuff, but it's just kind of a motion detector type thing that maybe works, maybe doesn't,
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
something this important, I think anyway, that it should be something that's running all the time.
Yeah, and have a record of it,
Yes,
have a stored record of it,
And I still think the school ought to be interested in this, so.
New fire station, I see they poured some footings today.
They poured the footings today, they're all covered with blankets and hay and
Nice.
snug as a bug in a rug down there, and I don't know what the next stage is, how long, they must leave them a couple of days.
They'll
don't they?
probably they won't uncover them till next week. I'd be surprised if they come back tomorrow and uncover them, but
Yeah,
leave it, this time of year,
Yeah.
you leave it for a few days.
yeah,
Foreclosed property, anything?
haven't heard a word from him.
Okay,
I do know there's somebody that's interested. I told them to contact them, whether they have or, I have no idea.
okay. And then the tax map
Nothing
conversion.
on the tax map, they are working on them. I called and asked a couple questions, that was it.
Okay. Do they have an anticipated date that they'll
Thought
be
he
done?
told us January,
Yeah, okay. All right,
for a rollout date.
okay. Is there anything else, you guys? Cindy, anything else
No,
on your
I don't
end?
think so.
Okay, so, let me just make a
When are you
motion.
leaving? Must be getting
After the first of the year, I don't have a date yet, probably before the 10th. Probably my husband will be like December 28th. But, I'm not in a big hurry to go actually, so,
We got snow coming this weekend.
yep. I'm ready. I'm ready. It is, that's what I was gonna do. It is 6:45 PM and I will make a motion to adjourn. Second, all in favor, 3-0. Thank you.